I'm Danny Gasparini, and welcome to this segment of Penn Voice. I am joined today by Brian Curtis, who is the Pacific Skyline Council CEO, and I'm also joined by Jim Pooley, who is the newly elected Pacific Skyline Council Board President. And I should say that we're here to talk about the Boy Scouts of America program, Pacific Skyline Chapter. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
So I think I'm starting, Brian, with you as CEO of the organization. Tell us a little bit about the Boy Scouts of America program, in case there's a couple of viewers that might not have known about Boy Scouts of America.
Sure. Well, the Boy Scouts of America, of course, is a national organization with scouts and programs all across the country.
Right.
But here locally, we're called the Pacific Skyline Council, and we serve the Greater Peninsula area, San Mateo County, northern Santa Clara County, and we go from the San Francisco Bay all the way over to Half Moon Bay and the coastside communities. We serve approximately 8,000 scouts in our territory, working through 2,400 fantastic volunteers, and those scouts are in 226 units in our area.
Again, the traditional sort of way in which you provide services for the scouts is you have a scout leader, and that's usually a volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about sort of the volunteer structure and how you meet the needs of our youth in our communities, and then also too, just sort of from a staffing structure. So you have a national organization and a local chapter.
Yeah, great question. So there is a national organization that supports what are called councils around the country. Mm-hmm. And our council is, we're our own 501c3 California corporation, nonprofit. We raise all our own funds locally. We are largely volunteer driven. We have a small staff that serves 2 council service centers. Our main headquarters is in Foster City, and we have a second headquarters down in Palo Alto in the Lucy Stern Center. Through that, we have what we call scout units. So when you think of a Boy Scout troop, or Scouts, now called Scouts BSA troop, or Cub Scout pack, those youth are attending meetings that are led by volunteers, usually parents or local community leaders that care about youth and scouts.
Excellent. So now you've got some real important news to talk about that started at the national level, and it obviously is now at the Pacific Skyline level, and that is girls are now encouraged to join the program. So tell us a little bit about that.
Right. This is not your grandfather's scout program anymore. And it's really a big leap forward for us in terms of inclusiveness.
Right.
Many of your viewers may remember that we had some issues years ago around inclusiveness in the program. And what we've done is resolve those old issues, and then, based on a lot of research and surveys and requests from families of scouting, we made the decision at the national level to bring girls into the program at all levels, so that with the Cub Scouts, they can participate along with their entire family. And at the traditional scout level, which is like 11 to 15 in that area, they can get the same kind of experience, outdoor experience, training, leadership experience that the boys have been getting for decades and decades. In fact, I mean, one of the things that is so satisfying to me about to see this happen,
right,
is because, we have what most management consultants believe is probably the world's best youth training program for leadership, self-reliance, and character building.
Right.
And it really bothered me that we don't offer this to girls. In fact, our own daughter expressed frustration after she saw her older brothers go through the program, the Boy Scout program, and then she couldn't, get a similar experience herself where she could go out and then learn how to use a compass and an axe, how to organize a program by herself,
right,
and all those skills that you get in scouting,
right,
traditional kind of scouting, are now open to girls. And when you consider the issues that we have around here in Silicon Valley over gender disparity, this is a wonderful way to help start to prepare the next generation.
So, Brian, how long has the program then been accepting girls as applicants or into the program? And then what have you seen so far that kind of brings a smile to your face in the program?
Yeah, it really does bring a smile to my face. And Jim's story is a perfect example of how the Boy Scouts of America was trying to be responsive to families.
Right.
Today's families are busier than ever. And we were hearing that many girls or sisters of brothers in the program, they wanted to have those same opportunities, maybe get a chance to become an Eagle Scout, which is the highest rank you can achieve in scouting. So National did some work and did some surveys, and we found that over 87% of parents that were surveyed said we would love to be able to have this opportunity for our daughter as well as our son. Now, going back decades, we've had co-ed programs in our venturing, which is outdoor high adventure type programs for 14 to 20.
Right.
And we've had exploring, which is career education, law enforcement, fire, career type explorer posts that have been co-ed.
Right.
But recently, we had our Cub Scout program begin to offer programs for girls. So they can join what we call dens. So there's boy dens and girl dens, and they can be in a local Cub Scout pack, which is usually at a school in their neighborhood. Just this year, in February, we kicked off Scouts BSA, and that's just the renamed program which you knew as Boy Scouts.
Right.
And that now welcomes girls into girl troops and boy troops. So girls can earn all the same rank advancements, go on the same outings, and have as much fun and do everything that the boys get to do.
So it's interesting that you, so the programs are still gender specific. So Girl Scouts, the program, and then the boy side of the program. Do you see the two linking, even though they're doing the same curriculum, or is that something that the Boy Scouts hasn't wanted to necessarily think about because of all the issues that can go along with teens and youth?
Yeah, well, it's interesting you would use the word linking, because that's what we use to describe a girl troop and a boy troop that are sponsored by the same community organization. So the program is not specific, is not gender specific, in the sense that the
curriculum's
manual,
the same.
curriculum is the same, the training is exactly the same. But we all know from an awful lot of research that it really is best for the boys and girls not to be competing with one another.
Sure.
And they need to be separated for a whole bunch of reasons.
Right.
But they can be supported by the same local organization. They can share certain
and they're working towards the same achieved goals.
And that makes the linkage, that you can have a sense of being in a unit that still has separate parts.
Right. And I love the collaboration that obviously happens between the two different units, the linkage that we both are using between the two troops as well, being under that sort of unit leader umbrella or that sponsor umbrella. It's a great thing. So how do you sort of raise your money for the organization? And then I think we're going to talk about a couple of events that are happening as well.
Yeah, great. And I'd just like to add on real quick that we locally we had over 300 girls join Cub Scouts right here on the peninsula, and with the February 1 launch of Scouts BSA, we had 8 new girl troops that formed, and we have 60 girls and climbing as new ones register every week. Here on the peninsula.
So the word has gotten out. So hopefully after this program, you'll have a few more troops wanting to form.
I think so, yeah.
Units, I'm sorry, we were talking about units.
Yeah, units is the term for all the different levels, but troops for Scouts BSA. But yes, those programs that do require funding to operate, and we do raise all of our own funds locally through various sources. Friends of Scouting, where they're just local donors, families, contributors. We have some product sales. We have a popcorn sale in the fall. You might see the Scouts out in front of the grocery store. And we also have a very special event that we call the Distinguished Citizen Award Dinner.
Right.
And we honor a pillar of the community, someone who gives back and cares about youth and does great things for our community. And so we're really looking forward to this year. We're honoring Marie Chuang, who is the past immediate mayor of Hillsborough and a city council member, and she has 2 Eagle Scout sons.
Well, good for her. I did attend your previous award dinner honoring Bill Graham.
Yes.
So it's a great night. It's really an inspirational night. So thank you, and a great way to support BSA and Pacific Skyline Council too. It's your largest fundraiser.
Yes,
Exactly.
and I think really appropriate this year because of the move to incorporating young women into the program, that we have Marie as our honoree.
Well, Brian and Jim, we are out of time, so we'll just direct all of our viewers to go to your website for more information, and to look up when the event is, to sign up for the event, or to bring their young girls into the program. So thank you so much for bringing that great announcement to us, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you,
It's our
Dana.
pleasure.
And we'll see all of you next time on Penn Voice.